7, 7, 7. The number 7, 77, and 777 are considered lucky by both the Brotherhood and the general public. Triple lucky 7s are used in slot machines for their mystical quality. 711. The convenience store encode 7x11 equals 77. The G7 summit, G equals 7th letter, is numerologically 77. K and G clothing stores as well. KG equals 11x7 equals 77. American Eagle is circa 1977 and includes the 77 on many clothes. Apollo 11 launched in the 7th month making 77. Xbox has World Soccer 7 and the winning 11. The Pentagon is located on the 77th degree longitude and was supposedly hit by Flight 77 on 9/11. Flight 175. 1 plus 7 plus 5 equals 13. Struck the South Tower at the 77th floor. Hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech. Hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold. Genesis 4, 234. Here we have the biblical root of this sacred number. The biblical Lamech was a descendant of Cain, father of Tubal-Cain, ancestor of Hiram-Abiph, the first murderer, and an important Masonic hero. Lamech said unto his wives, Ada and Zillah, if Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold. This resonates 7, 11, and 77 because Lamech's revenge of 77 is 11 times Cain's 7. US Highway 77 is the site of many interesting happenstances that mark the revenge of Lamech theme as well. JFK was assassinated in Dallas near Highway 77. The Masonic Grand Lodge of Oklahoma in Guthrie is along US 77. Timothy McVeigh rented a Ryder truck on 77 and was taken to a country jail along 77 after his arrest. Both the Waco massacre and Oklahoma City bombing were on Highway 77. Not only that, they both occurred the same day, the 19th of April, 1993 for Waco, the 19th of April, 1995 for Oklahoma City. Then on the 19th of April, 2004 was the Chicago Sears Tower bombing attempt. Exactly 444 days after Sears Tower, on the 7th of July 2005, 2 plus 5 equals 7, which makes 777, were the London Underground bombings. 777 and 444 equals 1111, a very well-known mystical number, which like 7 and 77 is associated with the revenge of Lamech. On the 7th of November 2006 in Mumbai, India, supposed terrorist train bombs killed 209. 2 plus 9 equals 11 commuters, using 7 bombs spaced exactly 11 minutes apart. 77. From first to last blast. On the 7th of November 2007, the CIA published a national intelligence estimate predicting another imminent Al-Qaeda attack on America. Aleister Crowley believed Pan to be the Wizard of Oz, and attributed to him the number 77. The Z within the circle literally spells out Oz, and the letter Z itself is made up of two 7s, one right side up and the other upside down. Just look at the old Zellers logo. Jake Coetzee, The Brave New World Order. So Oz resonates 77 due to Z being made of two 7s. There is the Wizard of Oz and Return to Oz movies, Oz Magazine, Oprah's Dr. Oz, and the Oz HBO show. The abbreviation for ounces is Oz even though there is no Z in the word. So Oz, 77, lines the grocery store shelves and products. Zellers uses the Z inside an O logo and even spells out the 77 clearly. On is the Egyptian sun god and word for light. Dr. No was the first 007 movie starring 33rd degree Mason Sean Connery, who also starred in Zardoz, as in the Wizard of Oz. Boeing made a 707 plane and still continues the 7x7 line of planes today. When you sleep and get some Zs, you're also getting some 77s. The word zoo, meaning a place where animals are caged and observed, interestingly resonates 77. Also the word zodiac encodes not only Oz, 77, but a much deeper numerological secret. If you change the letter order of zodiac to Cadois, an interesting numerological coincidence is revealed. C equals 3, A equals 1, D equals 4, O equals 15, I equals 9, Z equals 26. 3.1415926. The first 8 digits of pi are encoded in zodiac. Another more occult interpretation of 77 is 7x7 equals 49. Many Buddhists believe, as written in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, that the soul takes 49 days between death and rebirth in the reincarnation process. Friends or family are supposed to read the Book of the Dead to the recently deceased for 49 days. Amazingly, it is also 49 days from conception when an embryo undergoes major changes to become a fetus. At 49 days, 2 very important things happen. 1. The newly formed pineal gland produces a giant spurt of DMT, and 2. The gender of the baby is decided. Could this be the moment of reincarnation? Rene Descartes and many others believed the pineal gland, the eye in the pyramid, to be the seat of the soul, where the immaterial soul interacts with the material body. The pineal gland is the only asymmetrical organ in our heads, lying at the perfect geometric center of the brain. Every night our pineal glands produce small amounts of DMT, tripping us out into various dream states, getting some Zs. The only other times this entheogen is naturally released is at the moment of death and the moment of Tibetan Buddhist rebirth. 49 days later, there is a mover called Ladder 49 and a band BR 549. Bob Dylan, a suspected Mason, sang a song called Days of 49 Inches with lyrics like, "How oft times I repine, like the pineal gland and reincarnation, for the days of old when we dug up gold in the days of 49. Dylan was also featured in Oz magazine and sang 7 curses, 7 days, and death is not the end. The Masonic Rolling Stones wrote Highway 49 singing, "Out on the Highway 49 I have walked till I am dead again," resonating this theme. The band Stiff Little Fingers wrote a song called Gate 49 singing, "I find that doorway in my mind when I want to be with you, I just walk through Gate 49. Their only other song with a number is Johnny 7. The 77 sing a song called Seven's Beginning. "Did you know my eyes were blue? The day we met my heart was too. Now you say the colors changed. You're staring down a darker shade." Their only other songs with colors are all the same. Blue Sky, Dave's Blues, Perfect Blues, and Wild Blue. Do you see pattern developing? Blank 77 sings Spirit of 77. Other bands include Attack 77, Linear 77, Breed 77, Collapso 77, Carter 77, Resistance 77. Nada Surf sings Blizzard of 77 Inches with lyrics about tripping in 711 as in a DMT trip. Perhaps? Ozzy Osbourne sang the album Blizzard of Oz and changed the S in Osbourne to a Z like Osborne. Hence we can say that Oz also resonates the Oz/77 theme as well. This is affirmed in the TV series Lost, which has an episode named Enter 77 and Oz Resonant, the man behind the curtain, about a man, Ben, who claims he arrived on the island via hot air balloon. Just like the Wizard of Oz, there were 48 survivors of the crash plus Claire's baby, or the French woman makes 49. Also in the episode numbers we see the countdown just as it hits 49. When the show starts, the word Lost floats toward the viewer, cutting off the L and T, leaving just the OS. Lost is full of occult numerology, symbology, and myths worthy of its own chapter. J.J. Abrams, the writer of Lost, is now writing the movie Star Trek Lost Frontier. In Disney's Shark Tale, Will Smith voices the main character Oscar. At the start of the movie, Oscar wears a hat with a big O right over his third eye chakra, and for most of the movie Oscar has a black eye which is blue. Throughout the whole movie, Oscar symbolically doubles as a third eye to De Niro's shark character, as hinted at by the poster. Similarly, in Return to Oz, Dorothy wears a headband with a Z inside an O right over her third eye point, once again showing this occult secret. Actually, this is only kept secret from Westerners. Hindu women wearing bindis on their foreheads are well aware of their spiritual significance in relation to the third eye. The actress Robin Tunney is used repeatedly by the Masons in Hollywood to resonate this OZ theme. 3 times in her movie career she has played characters named Zoe, which is of course OZ backwards. In the movie Cherish, Tunney plays a character named Zoe, and the movie poster has a series of O's rippling out from her foot. In the poster for the movie Zodiac, notice how the line goes through the O and right up to Robin Tunney's name. She is also in the HBO's Resonating Prison Break series. Oatsmeam is the 76th element. If you want to take these synchronicities to the limit, then it's quite interesting to note that Lee Harvey Oswald was killed by CIA agent Jack Ruby. Like Ruby Slippers from OZ, the precursor to the CIA was called the OS, and Marilyn Manson, MM, sings the song, KK, King Kill 33, all about Lee Harvey Oswald. How deep does the rabbit hole go? The famous Christian hero, Saint Bernard, defined God as length, width, height and depth because he understood the effect of geometry and numbers on the energy fields. Pythagoras also stated that number is all. The power of pattern, numbers, geometry and proportion are some of the great mysteries that have been denied the mass of the people. David Icke, The Biggest Secret 110. The Pentagon's groundbreaking ceremony was on the 11th of September, 1941. Exactly 60 years to the day Flight 77 crashed into it. The Pentagon was designed by Otto priest Jack Parsons, who was friends with fellow Otto head Aleister Crowley. Crowley attributed Pan the goat deity with the number 77. So Pan the goat, the Al Creator Al Destroyer, is 77. Bush Jr. just happened to be at an elementary school photo operating a book called My Pet Goat while the second plane hit the 77th floor of the South Tower and Flight 77 hit the Pentagon at 77 degrees longitude. Overlooking all this stood the Freemasonic Statue of Liberty on an 11-pointed star pedestal wearing a 7-pointed crown. 7x11 equals 77. If all that isn't eerie enough, a similar numerological coincidence occurred during the TWA Flight 800 disaster. The 17th of July, 1996. TWA 800 took off from JFK Airport on Wednesday evening, the 17th of July, 1996, and exploded a few minutes later over the Atlantic Ocean, near Long Island. Swiss Air 111 took off from the same airport on Wednesday evening, 9/2, 9 plus 2 equals 11, 1998, and went down in flames into the Atlantic Ocean off the province of Nova Scotia, Canada. The number of weeks between these two accidents is exactly 111, the same as the Swiss Air flight number. This is a very clear hoofprint of the clandestine Luciferian Masons, Cluems, who had sabotaged both airliners, TWA 800 and Swiss Air 111. The time between them is 111 weeks, or 777 days. The number 777 contains the mark of the revenge of Cain, 7, and the mark of the revenge of Lamech, 77. Robert Howard. Destruction of the trade centers. Occult symbolism indicates enemies within our own government, both satellite surveillance and hundreds of eyewitnesses along the Long Island coastline, whom the FBI never interviewed, clearly saw TWA Flight 800 shot by a missile fired from a small boat which then sped away. The divine legacy of 7 feet is also found in the otherwise unexplained origin of the 7 days of the week. Most of us take the 7-day week for granted and assume it is a natural cycle. In actual fact, it is not a fixed cycle at all, and scientists have struggled for years to explain why this tradition should have originated. Theologians would claim that the answer lies in the biblical 7 days of creation, but the origin of the biblical days is almost certainly the 7 tablets on which the Numerology was written. This is evident from the contrast between the first 6 Babylonian tablets describing Marduk's acts of creation and the 7th tablet, which is dedicated to general exaltation of the god, and thus a parallel to the biblical 7th day when God rested. But what is the ultimate origin of the sacred number 7 feet? Why did the Babylonians write their creation epic on 7 tablets? Whilst the 7 stars of the Pleiades may ultimately be significant, Zacharias Sitchin has put forward a very interesting alternative theory, based on a literal acceptance of the ancient texts. Having already identified the association of 12 gods with 12 planets, he was intrigued by continual references to the god Enlil, known as the chief god of the earth, but also somewhat cryptically as Lord of 7 feet. This gave Sitchin the idea that Earth was somehow the 7th planet, and he quickly realized that Earth was indeed the 7th planet encountered by the gods as they traveled from Nibiru into the heart of the solar system. Alan F. Alford. Gods of the New Millennium: The Shattering Truth of Human Origins. 81. Earth was the 7th planet in the Sumerian rendering, as their alien progenitors allegedly came from another system and counted Pluto as the first planet instead of Mercury. There are 7 days in a week, 7 days in the Judeo-Christian creation myth, and 7 in Numerology tablets describing Babylonian creation. There is 7 up, Seagram's 7, the 7 spheres, 7th heaven, 7 Hathors, 7 chakras, the 7 seals, and 7 daughters of Atlas who guard the golden apples of immortality. Brad Pitt. Brad equals 2 plus 18 plus 1 plus 4 equals 25. 2 plus 5 equals 7. Pitt equals 16 plus 9 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0 equals 29. 2 plus 9 equals 11. Starred in the movies S7N, 7 Years in Tibet, and Ocean's 11. Note, he also starred in Less Than Zero, 12 Monkeys, Ocean's 12 and 13, which makes a total of 7 numerologically significant movies to date. The number 7 and 40 are also code numbers in the Bible and the mysteries. So in the Bible we have 7 spirits of God, the 7 churches of Asia, 7 golden candlesticks, 7 stars, 7 lamps of fire, 7 seals, 7 trumpets, 7 angels, 7 thunders, and the red dragon in Revelation with 7 heads and 7 crowns. The story of Jericho has Joshua marching his army around the city for 7 days, accompanied by 7 priests carrying 7 trumpets. On the 7th day they circled Jericho 7 times and the walls came tumbling down. In the story of Noah, 7 pairs of each animal go into the ark and 7 pairs of each type of bird. There are 7 days between the prediction of the deluge and the rain and 7 days between the sending of the doves. The ark comes to rest on the 17th day of the 7th month. Noah leaves the ark on the 27th day, and after the flood he begins his 7th century Davidike. The biggest secret. 83.